Okay, so I come from a family where, let's just say, they're not exactly the Pride Parade's biggest sponsor, right? Every family reunion, somebody finds some way to bring up gay people. Nobody asked about it, nobody mentioned it. It just somehow ends up in the conversation, right? So one day my grandma looks at me and goes, "Boy, you better not be gay." Now, first of all, what kind of greeting is that, right? Not how are you doing, not how's work, just don't be gay. Now, my grandma now is a very devout, hardcore, toxic Christian, right? So I look at her and I say, "Grandma, weren't you a stud in your 20s?" Then silence, complete silence. The kind where like you realize just how loud like the refrigerator is, right? And everybody in the room became very interested in what was on their plate. This was at Thanksgiving. Because they knew exactly where this conversation was headed. And she looks at me and she says, "That was different." Different how? How how was that different? Like, hey, grandma, your lore is public, all right? You can't have an entire prequel season and then get mad when somebody references it. That's not how that works, right? Imagine if you're talking to a Star Wars fan, right, about like the prequels, and then they're like, I hate the prequels. Don't bring up the prequels. The prequels are very integral to the story. Like, come on. So I asked her, "Hey, can I ask you a serious question?" She said, "Go ahead." And then I said, "People aren't just attracted to whether someone is a man or a woman." She said, "Right." And I said, "They're attracted to a person's personality, how they dress, how they carry themselves, their voice, their confidence, their overall presentation, right? So if presentation matters so much to attraction, why are you acting like it's shocking that different people are attracted to different kinds of people, right? Like me, I'm gonna be honest and open, right? I like tomboys, right? I like older women. So my preferred ideal woman would be a dominant 25 to 35-year-old tomboy who will call me puppy. Because again, I think everyone should be into puppy play. But that's beside the point. That wasn't me trying to argue. I was genuinely asking, right? People's presentation absolutely influences attraction. But that doesn't change anyone's sexual orientation, right? However, it will have like it'll let me have some opinions on you, right? A man attracted to a masculine presenting woman, we'll say a stud in this situation, specifically referring to a stud, is still attracted to a woman. A man attracted to a feminine man, a femboy in this case, is still attracted to a man. But it does show that attraction is more nuanced than reducing someone to like one label, right? And she didn't answer. Instead, she hit me with the oldest family debate tactic known to man. You want something to eat? No, I don't. Because we were having a discussion, see? Now, the point of this is, right, my grandma was a stud that was into other women. She was a lesbian. And now she's a very toxic, devout Christian, and she told me that I better not be gay. Right? I think, right? If if a if a stud and a stud get together on an individual basis, that is basically a straight relationship because they're both attracted to the masculine representation that the other has. Right? Like, yeah, at the end of the day, they're still lesbians, but that is akin to a straight relationship. Same thing with two femboys. If two femboys get together, that is like yeah, they're still gay, but that is very akin to a straight relationship, right? So with that, it's like you're coming at me, right? But me being attracted to femboys, if I were attracted to femboys, if I were, am I? I don't know. I never thought about it, right? But if I were attracted to femboys, that would be straighter than me being attracted to a stud. It's that simple, Grandma, right? But she didn't understand that thought process. She didn't, and that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. And that's unfortunate because, hey, you in your 20s and 30s was gayer than I am now. So I think we need to have an uncomfortable conversation, Grandma.